what she's doing. And
also, a lot of horses that have nerve pain get the kind of bad attitude. Like take her tongue out and rubs her teeth backwards on it. I don't know, it's just something that I noticed in horses that have nerve type stuff, which is really common in kind of horses that grow a bit thicker muscle. You know, like you can tell she's on the way to becoming muscles, a bigger musculature.
Yeah, she actually should be bigger than she is with her breeding.
You can tell she's kind of on that path. So especially up here, there's a big bunch of nerves that passes through here. A brachial plexus. It passes right through this shoulder motion. Yeah, it's a good girl. And sometimes when that impinges, sometimes when that impinges, it'll cause kind of weird stuff here and then here, right? Because there's kind of this triangle of horses right here. And if they get forehand heavy, oftentimes this will impinge.
She is forehand heavy.
Here. So it's like her SI, so when I move up here, so her SI, I know it's a little sore, I know. So that's what I was talking about, that like tweaking. So a lot of times the nerves that run through here and the nerves that run through here, and there's another one that runs right underneath this hip joint, those will impinge if they get kind of built. See the upside down tongue scraping? Yeah. So it'll happen if they kind of start to do this, right? So she's probably going to need something that picks up, you know, because she's not built downhill. That's kind of.
But she rides downhill. Yeah, exactly. I know what you're saying. A lot of
pick up through here to kind of heal. Look at her. She's like, this is my time. Get out of here.
Right. And she definitely needs that. Part of the picking up there is engaging the back, and she acts like the back is sore and don't want to engage.
Yeah, I would guess it's nerve pain here.
Do you think that's the source of it? Is the front?
I think so. Yeah. I think she needs to do lots of things like transitions and then backing out of them. So she starts shifting weight to her hind end, because I think as long as she carries all her weight here, it's going to continue pinching, which then basically like shorts out this part of her. At least that would be. From what her body's telling me.
That makes sense with what I'm seeing.
Yeah, from what her body's telling me. Because right here, I mean, she gets sore for a second, but it's nothing like when I move it up here. You know, and so it's like, this is maybe more of a symptom than an actual problem. I think the problem is when I'm here, she's doesn't bother her. Here doesn't bother her. Under her stomach does, but that's because she's a mare. You know, she's a little opinionated, so she's like, that's a little sore, and that's normal for it to be a little sore, and she's a bit opinionated, so she just says like, you know, but she likes it. Yeah, so any section from about mid-neck to about mid-ribs, this whole section is really where she says that she's sore.
She's sore.
And she weaves like that? Is she a stall weaver?
If she's in very much, she will.
I say, because when she gets stressed, she weaves. So it reminds me. So like here's sore, which again, that would be the same. The brachial plexus that runs through here, it makes all the muscle or all the blood flow that goes to this section. So if it's pinching as she's kind of weighting the front end, you know, nothing's going to get then sent around. So it's going to cause, you know, all the stuff you were kind of talking about. It makes sense. And up through her neck, she's normal amount of riding horse sore, you know, but nothing too big a deal. But then did you see her do the tongue thing again? Yeah, it's like a nerve. It reminds me that it's nerve pain, not muscle. And you can see like there's no pulsing.
Kind of like the muscles are just kind of squeezed around the nerves.
That's it. So they impinge because they get built in the wrong places and not in the right places. So it doesn't allow blood flow to go through. I wish I had a graph of what it looks like in there, but the muscles literally coat. And they're supposed to be wide out here and hold space, but sometimes they start to do this. And it just starts pinching off flow to somewhere. It could be flow back here, it could be flow to her top line, it could be down her leg. You know, sometimes horses will get lots of abscesses or go lame a lot, or, you know. So it reminds me more here. So transitions, anything that can get her to come up, but not really from your hand. You know, like
it needs to be from, from the saddle.
And then it's going to. Even if she looks like she's on the forehand, she's still dropping the weight there.
Leg heels and engaging the butt.
Even in hand, you know, you can get her to stand real square and get her to kind of drop soft here and then step back and then instantly forward. So she has to
engage back there.
Yeah, she needs to be using from here back, not weighting so heavily here. At least that would be my guess.
That doesn't make sense with what she's doing. And
also, a lot of horses that have nerve pain get the kind of bad attitude. You know, because it hurts. Anxiety. You don't know when it's going to come. It's not like a muscle where you're like, okay, every time the saddle goes on, it hurts or whatever. Nerve pain is like, everything's fine. Everything's fine. You know, have you pinched a nerve in your back and you're like completely fine, and all of a sudden you're like, you can't even stand. Right. You know.
So generally, what's the general long-term fix, or is there one?
Fixing the musculature.
Engaging the back end better.
And keeping this muscle soft. So the brachiocephalicus, this muscle right here, it's antagonistic. It cannot work at the same time that the wrong muscles work. So if you keep her soft here, which is going to be harder because she's anxious, you know?
Right.
So getting her to get this like that, even when you're working her through transitions, keeping this like this, because as soon as she gets anxious, even a little bit, then it's gone. And that muscle tenses. Well, she can't work these muscles and her thoracic sling
when
muscles
that's tense.
If this is tense.
Right.
And, you know, they're antagonistic to each other, so really helping her in her mind get calm, and then helping this, because even right now, her neck's at the same place it was before, but it's not soft. You know, so getting her to relax until it gets soft. And when she gets there, trying to find a place that she'll stay there, you know, because she doesn't like that. She wants to keep it tense.
That matches really well what I teach about leaving this alone and work the back.
That's it.
And then when you work the back, this takes care of itself, and then that stays soft. Where if you're up here working this, that's going to get tense, and you're not going to
forces all the weight back here. And it's not anxiety producing for them most of the time because you're here. So it's not, you know, it's something you can do. Because if this can get soft, and weaving will not help it get soft.
It'll make it worse. Yeah, it'll make it worse.
So sometimes it can even be completely caused by anxiety. You know, cribbers will have it, you know. And then again, if she comes behind vertical, it's nearly impossible
then
to
it's
get
gone.
the muscle correct. Because as soon as this is here, it has to.
And I run into that problem that people that have worked the head a lot, and the head comes in, but you don't have any engagement from the back, and you can't. The two don't work.
She'll let me do this, but I would guess her pole is probably pretty messed up.
Probably so. Yep.
She said, "Don't let that."
That hurts.
I won't. We won't.
Poor thing.
Hang on, she pulled that door open.
We won't. And if we do, we'll do it not tied up. Yes. So a lot of times, if they react like that, it's that same thing we're talking about. It's the nerve, you know, impingements. It's okay. Let me try again. No, how about this? I can't do this. Yeah,
that's really painful.
So a lot of the pull, that's the same thing we're talking about. It's that pinched nerve. They get anxious. They hold so much tension here. Okay, she's like, don't even touch it with your hand.
Yeah.
Okay, come here. So I would do you know what the Masterson method is?
Yeah.
I would do that with her a lot. We won't do it anymore. It's okay. We won't go there anymore. We don't like it. We don't have to. They don't like that voice either.
She don't like nothing.
Yeah. The pole can be a big source of why she doesn't like anything. It's attached to everything. And so their whole body, their hind leg movement attaches to the
That's like when our neck hurts.
Exactly. It is literally attached to everything. And so really helping her find comfort there and then releasing here. So Masterson is the best way to do that because it doesn't really, you don't even have to touch them. If they're uncomfortable, you can stay, you know. So getting her to find, look, she's like, I'm so glad we're back here because I like it here. Yeah, but getting her to find some comfort. Is that too much or is it okay? Getting her to find comfort there. And these muscles, the biggest thing is training them correctly to move back there, but the next biggest thing is helping her relax. So massage, even currying can get movement, and then getting that pole relaxed. Every tension in her body comes from there. And same, I guarantee, like up in her cheeks, she's got a lot of tension.
Oh, she does, yeah.
And so really working on her getting less tense. 'Cause I think the riding stuff will just go away. You know, if she can feel comfortable, the other stuff will just go away. Because it's a discomfort. And I would bet pretty good money it's nerve impingement. Probably here. I don't think she's impinged back there. I think she's just doing this, you know? So all of the pressure and strain is coming up here, which makes that almost non-existent, right? So she's not going back there because everything here is just held.
Right.
You know, it's like a cement block holding everything together. So this has to get soft and then do a lot of things to move
And building that.
her weight back here.
Okay, makes sense.
You know, she will probably grow at her withers if you do that. Because, you know, horses, they're not held here by bone. They don't have collarbones like humans.
Right.
So they're not held here. And so this whole section, this whole section isn't held up by anything except for muscle. So if you change the muscle, they'll actually get taller here, which will then physically be easier for her to
use her back end.
Yeah. So really changing how this engages and picking everything back there. But again, you know, you can't do that with your hand. That's not how they get there.
Yep.
So you have to build, you have to fix this. Can you see the muscles?
I can see.
Yeah, so that's what's impinging. It just gets tense and it gets tight and it holds on like a block. And it just won't come out of there until you soften. She's like, don't have them. But she likes the machine. You know, she's not cranky at all since I started this. Well, except for at him. But yeah, these muscles right here have to soften. And then you have to teach her to be less anxious.
And more on the back end.